I'm proud of our players. I'm proud of our team. Atmosphere was amazing, and it continues to be amazing. It's one of the best atmospheres in college basketball right now. Just appreciate the city so much. I just appreciate people pouring into our program passionately, the student body. Just so fun. It's so fun when what we do, Charleston basketball, ignites and connects the city. And that's kind of the vision, man. That's what we set out to do. And you always said, I said this to recruits, I said this to people, I stare at the ceiling at night, dreaming, envisioning of what that looks like night in, night out. And that's what's happening right now. And it's so fun. It's so awesome. And we have a special team. You know, I think it's important as you go through seasons of life, you go through seasons of the season, you have to stop, you know, when you get to those closing points, acknowledge what you've done, what you've accomplished, and you turn the page to the next thing. The summer, right? Our guys come in here, nobody sees them, working their butt off all summer, going to summer school, weightlifting, training, every single day. Boom, go home for 2 weeks, come back. Academics, preseason, workouts, lifting, blah, blah, blah. I mean, thousands and thousands of hours. Boom, that ends. Now practice starts. Boom, that ends. Now you go into pre-conference, Charleston Classic, non-conference games, blah, blah, blah. Boom, that ends. And then you go through the conference slate. And those guys just keep checking the box of accomplishing what we call being a one-percenter, right? We strive to be it's so hard to be a one-percenter, not in the talent, but in the excellence with which we go about. And they finished the conference season champions. You know, and that's hard to do because there's really good coaches and really good players in this league. Now, I have no idea what Hofstra's going to do today, whether it's going to be a shared thing or whether it's outright. I have no idea. We can only control what we can control. And, you know, it's just a special group of kids that I'm so darn proud of.
It was senior day, but it was pretty much Ben Burnham's show out there today. Talk about his play.
Yeah, Benny was amazing. Just, again, example that who's your best player? We got 9 of them, you know. There's not many teams in the country that can just this guy on this night, that guy on that night, this guy on this night. It just continues to happen. So many times you say, who's your big 3? Usually when you're going into scouting report, who's the big 3? And I don't know if you can do that with us. Another example of Benny Buckets, great nickname because he can flat put that ball in the basket. He's grown so much as a player and as a kid, his body, his mind. It's just great to see him have success.
They say in the transfer portal era, it's hard to get like a team together, and you've managed to pull 4 seniors in on senior day and make this like a tremendous team. Was that like the vision, or did this?
You coach it every single day. You coach culture every single repetition, and we don't bend. You know, and it's all about relentless effort, competitive excellence, and the power of the unit. I've said that many, many times. Each of those phrases, words, mean something and matter. It's not just spaghetti at the wall. Like, it matters to us. Here's something that I think is part of our secret sauce. And it's the makeup of the kids, but we have a group of guys, and I say this to our guys all the time, and if I start this phrase, they'll finish it. There's thousands of kids around the city of Charleston that could finish my sentence when I say this. Thousands. You bring them in here because I say it every day at camp, at the beginning of the day, in the middle of the day, and the end of the day. You can't be too cool. You can't be too cool. And that's hard in today's day and age, especially with kids. And our guys aren't too cool to love their teammates and to say it. They aren't too cool to clap and rah-rah at a shoot-around on February 25th, 6 months after we started practice. The energy's the same. There's smiles on faces. There's peps in steps. We don't bend and equivocate on those things because it matters. Our guys aren't too cool. They're not too cool to lean forward in a scouting report session, a film session, and speak up in a team meeting. It's so hard. So many times you're looking at your buddy next to you, and it's like, man, if I say this, is he going to judge me? No. Don't be too cool. And we got a program full of guys that aren't too cool to do all the little things, to love their teammates, to be selfless. It's just fun, man. It's fun. I'm so blessed to be a part of it. You know, to me, I don't know about you guys. I can only speak for myself, okay, because you guys always ask the question. I'm surprised it hasn't been asked yet. And I don't think about it. What do you think? What would you say to the committee if they were here right now? What would you say? Because I know that's coming. And I don't think about it. I really don't. It's just about let's be great at the next thing. But if you watch that team play today and you tell me that's not an NCAA tournament team, you're crazy. That is a 1% team. That is a team with unbelievable stories, unbelievable character, that has become an elite team. Now, that's because I knew you were going to ask the question. I can't worry about that. That's those people in that room, and they're going to make the decisions that they're going to make. What we can control and worry about is not winning the championship, not winning the conference tournament. It's being great tomorrow. It's being great in the film session where we're off tomorrow. On Monday, in the weight room, in the first repetition of the first drill in practice. That's what we can worry about. And this team's been all about that and letting the results take care of themselves. And that's what's going to happen next week in D.C. I can't promise you whether that shot's going to go in, that ball's – I don't know. Last year it came down to a block charge call, toughest call in sports. It happened. Now, what we can worry about is tomorrow. And then we're going to do what we do. And hopefully we take it out of the committee's hands and you win a championship. But that's an NCAA tournament team, period.
So you think you put the resume together during the year?
That's an NCAA tournament team. Okay. Now, it's out of my hands. We're just going to go try to be great at the next thing. Not worrying about the game yet. It's about recovery tomorrow. It's about academics. And then it's about the first repetition of bench press in the weight room. Let's be great at that.
You talked about how hard it would be to, you're scouting the top three, hard to do with you guys. How is that concept improved as far as multiple scoring options over the season for you guys?
How's that improved?
Yeah. Just you guys have so many scoring options.
Yeah, I think it's always been kind of the true gift of our team that we do have so many options and so many, you look at our scoring total. We have 5, almost 6 guys in double figures. It's not like you have one guy at 24 and one guy at it's the too cool thing. Because in today's day and age, it's like mine, and it's my points per game, and it's my average. This team's about the power of the unit. So you know what our scoring totals look like? I don't know what it is. 12, 12.1, 10.4, 10.8, 10.9, 9.9. And you just got a bunch of guys that don't care about that, and they care about winning. So I don't know if I answered your question. I just kind of got emotional and started talking about it again like I do sometimes. But, yeah, we've always had a bunch of cats that can score when they need to score.
How about for you, Kelsey, on the other side of it? Would you rather your last second shot and you got a timeout or something, are you going to try to defend the top scorer, one of the top scorers in the league or the country, or are you would it be harder to try to defend a team like yours with – I'm not exactly sure who they are.
Great question. Now, I'm not going to tell you who we're going to at a big moment because I'd have to kill you if I told you that. Not really, I was kidding. But what would I rather have? I'd rather have my team. Now, like I said, the majority of teams, like at that moment, they're going to that dude. You can't really say that about us, and I think maybe an advantage we have.
Kind of going off that, tonight, I think, what was it, 50, 60 points from the bench. How confident does that make you heading into tournament play where you're going to have lots of games back-to-back?
Yeah, I think it helps you in tournament time when you have short turnarounds and when, fatigue and that type of stuff comes into play. That's part of the advantage of having a very deep team, and I hope, we're able to take advantage of that by playing 3 days. We can't worry about the last day. We can only worry about the first one or the first repetition of the next drill. I know it's boring that I keep saying that, but yeah, that's an advantage of our team.
Does the
a strength.
Classic let you breathe a little easier knowing that your team in a tournament situation was able to do as well as they did?
Yeah, I think it gives you confidence that we've done it before, right? When you've done something and, okay, we can harken back to that. And like, okay, we had those quick turnarounds where you don't have a day in between. You got 16 hours. So yeah, it's been a while since then, but But you're right. I'll go back and maybe look at my notes, like how did we do walkthrough, how did we do film sessions. Be honest with you, I haven't given it the first iota of a thought because all I worry about is Stony Brook today. Like Stony Brook. And then to see that it's over and I'm like, if you can give me a couple hours to go play with my kids and have a Corona or something, it'd be nice. But no. But yeah, we'll think about that next week. But you're 100% right. That was that'll be good stuff to reflect back on.
How meticulous are you in keeping your notes? Like, do you keep notes from every game that you've ever coached? Like,
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Now,
In your phone or
I have a folder for every game that you ever coached and you ever played against. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with Auburn from 2014, but somewhere up in my attic, I got a big box that has the Auburn folder, right? So now I have a Stony Brook folder, and that'll stay in. I got all the stuff from last year still in my office, so I can harken back to some of the things. Kind of learned that from Skip Prosser and Jeff Battle, who's at Providence, and Dino Gaudio, three of the most organized people that I've ever met in my life. Like those dudes' pencils are like that on their desk, and it's color-coded, and it's like filed. I'm a little bit of an ADD guy. Like, birds will fly out of my closet when you open it up sometimes. But he was so meticulous and organized, Skip Prosser and specifically. And one of the things that was really cool was when I first got to Wake Forest, and I was director of basketball operations, and I would just be there nonstop because I didn't have anything else to do. I wasn't married, didn't have kids, and I'd be at the office at like 11 at night. And he didn't know this. Maybe I told him one time. I would go into his office, and I would open up his file cabinet, not just look at scouts. He would have a folder for every conversation he had with somebody, a coach. There was he talked to John Wooden one time, like you'd open up, and there were notes about his conversation with John Wooden. And it was like this treasure trove of coaching knowledge. Where those files are right now, I have no idea. But I never forget open it up and just reading about all the meetings that he had. And he was just a meticulous, copious note taker. Is that the word, copious? Yeah. I don't know. Please, if it's wrong, don't delete that out. But yes, so I have a folder for everything.
Coach, how much does it help you experience-wise that your team has won virtually every type of game this year? You've won blowouts, you've won tight games, you've been down 6, 8, 10 and come back. Does that help experience-wise heading to the tournament? You guys have essentially won everything, right?
I think it's shown that we can win in different ways. So, for instance, like you play against Stony Brook and you look at their Ken Pom pace, right? Pace is how many possessions they have in the game. They're bottom 5 in the country in pace. There's a million ways to skin a cat. There's a million ways to win, right? There's some teams that are high volume in terms of possessions. There's some that are really, really low. And a team like that plays that way, it's a little bit of the battle of wills, our style versus their style, and they really want to slow it down. We really want to speed it up. So I think we've shown that we can win against high-paced styles, slow it down styles, knock down drag-outs. Yeah, with a record of whatever we are. What's our record? 23. I think it's a lot of different ways you figure out how to win. But it's not about the X's and O's. I'll say it again. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. We got great players and great kids.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, man.
Sorry to wax